Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing, Accent Core Plus R. It is episode .50, and it is Friday, November the 19th.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Drew.
There we go. All right. We were talking about NFTs and crap because on the pre-podcast discussion, which if I was smart, I would like if I had a Patreon or something, I would have a recording of the pre-podcast and that would be like the Patreon exclusive
Hmm?
where you get like the 10 minutes before the podcast. It's like here you go.
Mm-hmm.
The secret bonus conversations. But we're talking about because the Staples Centers has been renamed. The Staples Centers where the LA Lakers play has been renamed the Crypto.com Arena. And that's horrifying.
Also, even in that, they're so crappy. Why wouldn't you call it the Crypto Coliseum?
Yeah, that would be it. Oh god. Cuz that would be yeah. It has the alliteration. I'm down with alliteration. Always here for it.
As a society, we're trained to be down for the alliteration. It's so easy.
It always works. It works every time. Why do you think he's named Peter Parker? It's alliteration.
Yeah.
It works.
Otto Octavius.
Yeah. It just has a good sound to it. But anyway, so we're talking about that crap. How cryptocurrency is bad, and we're just gonna skip to the Universal Media's new ape themed NFT characters, where they're trying to have a band with the apes. And I think, see, because they could buy those apes or whatever from anything. And what they have made the mistake, if you look
No,
at.
Kevin, they don't buy the apes, they buy the receipt for the apes.
Okay, yeah, okay, so they buy a link to a website where, and on that specific link of the website, a JPEG of an ape is hosted. Which I feel is the grand illusion
Better.
of the NFT is the ape, because because it makes people think they're buying the ape instead of buying a link to where the ape is hosted on like ape.com.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so like of the four apes, the issue is like the third one who's like wearing a flamingo coat and looks like it's melting. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be hard to animate or draw correctly if you're gonna really try to gorillas it up.
But that's only if you're trying to make a quality product, which the apes have already showed us they're not.
You're very correct. See, because I always try to think of like my downfall is how to do this as best I could instead of how to do this as lazily as possible.
Mm.
Where you just you just have like a big oh man. Yeah, you're correct. I did not I'm not because I was like how would you gonna animate like a gorilla's music video with one of them that's like a writhing mass, and the question is no you don't, because this is just a
Yeah.
scam.
Also, my biggest question is, will their music sound as bad as the JPEGs look?
That is, I mean, I think almost by necessity or by like just not necessity but actuality. What word am I looking
Mm-hmm.
for? Like it can't. Like even if you just have like some auto-tuned lyrics in like a default bass line, it will probably sound better than how the apes look.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just had like a decent like free auto-tune beat, you auto-tuned and then you just read like the description of the Wikipedia description of chair, and you'll be like, this is okay. It's better than what the apes look like.
Mm.
You're like, I like that
I
funky
saw
beat.
them and I was like, oh, but I heard about it. I was like,
Was like, you know what? This is fine. I mean, one of the spoilers of music is that the you can music has been solved to make it sound okay, not good, but like we know like you can put this chord progression into like a synthesizer and it's gonna sound fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's I just wanted the this is the ape rant that will continue as NFTs continue to go into all things. And it's going to be like a really big it's going to be a problem with like video games and crap. I don't think they understand that like if you sell the NFT in your game or whatever, that now counts as value and you now have to like report it to like the feds. So like Ubisoft Assassin's Creed, if it sells you the NFT, now that's like a tangible asset.
Yeah.
Like they gotta.
Isn't it? Isn't there a price range though? Like you have to make so much
I
with
think
them before you report them, or not?
I think it's the same as banks, where they've classified like crypto people as banks or money lenders or whatever. I think it's a vendor.
Yeah.
Where it's 10,000, anything over 10,000, any transactions over $10,000 must be reported.
Mm.
So like, and it's also stuff like 900, 9,099, like that also gets reported.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't fuck around. Like the banks aren't fucking. They're not stupid. You're
Yeah.
not gonna pull like I didn't do any $10,000 transactions. I just did 100,999 transactions. Thank you. So it's one of those.
Man, I can't wait. The 1920s speakeasies were way cooler when it was like secret bars and not the 2020s speakeasies where it's fucking NFT like shadow servers.
That's my biggest complaint. And I feel like the complaint is an evergreen complaint where I was promised a cool dystopia and not the lamest dystopia that has ever been seen.
But
Like,
see, the problem is artist types can use their imagination to make cool stuff. Corporate types can only use their non-imaginations to create dystopias.
yeah, where it's just like the worst that has ever been. It's not even like remotely cool.
Just boring and bland.
It's like, yo, you want that Naruto in Fortnite? That's something. Is Naruto still big with the kids? Am I like mistaken?
I think so. And by kids, I mean like late teen college kids.
Yeah, it's
think...
people like a generation younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like in my mid 30s. So is this people in the mid 20s that are like, yo, Naruto?
Yeah. But I don't know if Boruto's cool with the kids here. I don't know if anime is even airing on TV. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, but I think since we're in like the Netflix streaming whatever, even Crunchyroll, I think it's just like if you got your web browser, you can watch anime, all of it. Not even on the Grand Line. You can just you can legally just watch it. It's there.
Okay. To tie back in, did you know like some torrent clients now will install software so they will use your computer to run the blockchain without telling you?
No, but I mean that's fitting. That's just the evolution of the virus. Of the Trojan virus on LinkinPark.mp3.exe.
No, but I mean this isn't even like a thing you download from the torrent. The torrent itself will download and run it. So the parent company that you downloaded the torrent from is now using you on the blockchain.
Yeah, I expect that. I am not surprised. I am not shocked that the piracy enabler would also be doing some crimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's par for the course.
Mm-hmm.
God, the blockchain. Hate the blockchain.
The people who made NFTs originally tried to make the blockchain host or put JPEGs into the blockchain before realizing that's not how any of this works.
It's also
That's why now they just sell you receipts.
I remember the first attempt was they tried to get actual artists to draw the NFTs,
Hmm.
but that didn't work because they couldn't draw them fast enough. So then they just started stealing art, and then that had a
Yep.
problem because people who actually owned the art would say you stole my drawing, and then that would ruin the whole scam. Which is
Yeah.
why we get AI generated Picru apes, and
Yeah.
that is the current method because you make your Picru assets and you just hit random, and you're good.
And then every so often you just add a couple more assets, and there's like 1,000 more apes.
Yo, you add like a sailor hat, and you've exponentially you've doubled every ape combination.
Yep.
Yo,
Now you have the sailor variant or the not sailor variant.
and then you do like a color filter. You like you change that sailor hat from blue to red, and now you got an even more infinite apes. Yo, I got
Oh,
red
see,
sailor ape.
you got the scarlet sailor smoking pipe ape. Oh man, no, I got the scarlet sailor smoking pipe ape receipt dog.
Yo, you want it?
You want this receipt?
You want this money laundering? Ugh, it's just it's just filthy. It's
Yeah.
filthy.
We were talking with someone else in the cello studio
Mhm.
from the girlfriend's school, and he was like, "Yeah, there's some other jerk talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency." And I'm like, whatever. If you want to waste your money on that stuff, that's fine. But it's when he started trying to get someone else into it that I had to intervene.
Of course. Because that's the Avon Tupperware products where they're trying to
Yeah,
get other people into the scam so they can justify their own scam.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't. Ugh. Oh man, get that shit out of here.
yep.
I just hate it. I mean, personally, I think like the stock market is the big scam too.
Yes, it is.
Let's not get things twisted. I don't think like the stock market is that much better.
Or better at all.
It
Like
te-
on paper, it could be, but as soon as it's the fact that like it's just rampantly corrupt.
It is rampantly corrupt, but the only thing I will give the stock market is it's not actively destroying like the planet. Well, it's not directly doing it.
It's only encouraging the
It's
destruction of
encouraging
the
it and it
planet.
is doing it, but it's not like by default the power consumption is just destroying it. You know,
Yeah,
it's you're still at zero. You're at like a 0 point, and then you put a couple hundred zeros and put like a one at the end of that.
yeah,
Where you're like, yeah, I could give you that credit. But yeah, I don't know because it's just I don't like it. I feel I just when if mentally I go you're safer in blackjack. If you're safer
hmm,
just playing blackjack, then I think it's not a good idea.
yeah.
Or beanie babies, 'cause at least then you get a beanie baby. You ain't getting a beanie baby for your ape.
I
So
put all my assets into the Beanie Babies.
yeah, beanie coin. Let's go.
God, it's coming.
Of course it's coming. Some jerk off's gonna do it.
Yeah, no, it's crypto, but then like it's a big old TY
Yeah,
right there in the word
that's the
crypto.
thing. And what happens is every every Beanie Baby has a RFID in it that you can scan like an amiibo, and
Yeah.
that's a link to your NFT, which is just a JPEG of the Beanie Baby. Bam. Invest now. Now give me $38 billion, but it has to be
Yep.
in cash. I ain't taking no
I won't be
Ethereum.
profitable. I won't be profitable for another 10 years.
Well, I got to
Get in on the
scam.
ground floor.
Yeah, you gotta get in the ground floor, and you gotta be comfortable with scamming. I'm
Yeah.
not I can't scam people. Not like Ed, Ed, and
I'm
Ed.
too morally, yeah.
I just can't. I don't want to do that.
I don't either.
Anyway,
I
so
guess I'm just a bad American.
yeah, or the crux of Kaiji, where he wanted to be a success, but he has too good of a heart, where he just can't he can't push that person across off the ledge. It's like I can't do it. Anyway, what's up with Drew today?
I finished reading this book called Spook by Mary Roach.
What's it about?
And it is a nonfiction book. And it is her analyzing and like presenting all these different like real deal scientific delves into the afterlife.
Oh, Nito.
So like the first chapter is her talking to a professor in India who's done a lot of qualitative data collection on reincarnation.
Did he find out anything?
It's just a lot of going and talking to families that are supposedly reincarnated and talking to people who have observed things, and like she's trying to be, the author is trying to be objective.
Mm-hmm.
And like for the most part I think she is, but it's just, anytime I'm reading these I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, I immediately don't believe this. Like all of it is like just sort of sometimes lines up, almost. It almost usually lines up some of the time. I think the most interesting things are when she gets into the hallucinations, like ultrasound is sound at a like level we can't hear, but it causes a vibration that can be in sync with the natural frequency of your eyes.
Oh, that's neat.
And that induces hallucinations on the peripheral vision.
Huh.
So, ultrasound is really common in places like caves and such, and like the underground.
Well, yeah, because that's where like it travels through. It's like how whales do their whale stuff in the water.
Yeah, and it just resonates. So, it makes sense why you would see a lot of ghosts down there.
It's also how like your brain anthropomorphizes things.
Yeah.
Where it'll like you'll see a shadowy shape at night, and it's like it's your jacket on a chair, and your brain goes,
yep,
"That's a man," because it auto completed.
And then there are cases of fillings actually can pick up radio signals.
Oh yeah.
And but so can like lots of errant metal, depending on like where it is and how close to the things. So there's like a lot of scientific explanations for a lot of this stuff that's like kind of obscure, but not even. You just need to talk to like a blue collar worker who does this stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's like my favorite.
Yeah, well, just like a radio technician can tell you, like, nah, if you're just like listening to scrambled waves, sometimes they'll just pick up ones that's miles and miles away, and it's just like, yep, that just happens.
Or it's just kind of like, that's my favorite. Is it's a long. I'm trying to express my thought of the idea of to be the thing that has ruined like ghost and paranormal things is the fact that we all now carry a smartphone with a camera on it. It's like at some point someone would have gone like whipped out the iPhone and like look at the ghost, just like videotape, and not been like clearly like a fake or whatever, but just like, yo, there's ghost, and then they would have been on like Good Morning America and been like, I saw the ghost.
Yeah, I saw a ghost.
Here it is.
And so I think it speaks volumes. One of the professors she's interviewing who's collecting data and running research and doing tests on psychics and different mediums, people who can, read minds or communicate with the dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And she sits in with like one of these like supposedly like good, like high success rate mediums. And the lady is like, okay, they're telling me something about the letter K, maybe a name that starts with the letter K. And apparently this goes on for like 5 or so minutes before the author is like, well, my middle name's Catherine, but it's spelled with a C. And the professor is like, come on, you gotta give her something here. Like you gotta like reach over. And it's like, no, she said the letter K. She didn't say the name Catherine.
Yeah.
She said the letter K, and that was wrong.
Yeah.
And it seems to be, as I think we knew, all the research points to some people just want to believe this stuff and are more open to accepting it and it fitting their worldview and making it fit their worldview.
Oh, of course. That's
and
the whole.
other people are going to be hard skeptics and always be like, no, but that's not real though.
You know what the modern day paranormal thing is?
What?
We just talked about it. It's called cryptocurrency. There are people that want to believe.
Yeah. I want to believe this is real money.
Did she ever talk about quantum immortality, which is my favorite?
No.
Or it's like the mini universe theory. It's sort of like the advanced Schrodinger's cat, where if there's like infinite universes, then there's one where I am technically immortal. And like one of the like the guy who proposed it said, like, when I get like 90, I'm just gonna take a fully loaded revolver, point it to my head, and just start pulling the trigger, because eventually in one of the universes, like, they all shots misfire and I live, and that proves my theory. But he recommends not to try that experiment.
Yeah,
he says you don't do that experiment. That's the thought. That's my favorite. Where it's like, nah, there's just one where like, nah, completely immortal. You can't stop me because my consciousness doesn't know. It's not. It doesn't exist in universe 587 where I fell down the stairs.
So I think my favorite experiment she talks about, and like there's two versions of it. One is the modern day version that would just cost a lot of money, and like the guy's not going to get funding to actually do it. Which the early 1900s version is they put a man with tuberculosis close to death on a scale, so that way they could see if like there was a noticeable change in body weight when he dies.
Hell yeah.
So they can be like, the soul has left the body. And my problem with these, though, is like the early 1900 one is there was a noticeable change in body weight, more so than just like a dying breath leaving the body would be. But then, like, he couldn't really reproduce it so much, and like,
there we go.
Also, the administration didn't want him doing these experiments anymore when they got wind of it.
Yeah, I love it. Love that scam.
But there's like a big... I mean, I think the modern one, like that guy she's talking to, who is like, I don't know, he actually seems the proper scientist of like, well, I don't know. Like, I want to do these things because I don't know. He's like, there's so many sensors and scales and everything that we could just point at a box like this, and like they can go so minutely on their like measurements. There's a chance we could pick up some change, and then that's where you start.
See if you have like some electromagnetic high reading or something, and gone like, all right, we're gonna blast you with like every radio wave possible as you're on like your deathbed, and we're gonna see if we can't pick something up. And then it turns out it's Horfo. It's all.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. There's another. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like there's a lab running these experiments where you can go in and you sit in a soundproof box, like totally soundproof. and they basically put a Tesla coil on your head and run it. And I don't know if it's magnetic waves or like what exactly it is producing.
Well, it's gonna be if it's a Tesla, it's making magnet. Like electricity make magnet, magnet make electricity.
Yeah. But I just don't know if it's like delta waves or like it's a specific wavelength, exactly what. But it induces auditory hallucinations, like to the point where not just auditory. I think some people have said they've been sitting in the box and they felt someone touch their lap.
Yeah,
And
I
even
can
the
see
author
that.
was like, whenever she came out, it's like she said something about how she heard the siren going off like in the distance for like a fire truck or an ambulance. It's like, no, that box is soundproof, A, and B, there was no.
I mean, part of
And
that.
the
I mean, if you think about it, your brain is just electricity running around,
mm-hmm.
and if you put a
Yep.
bunch of electricity near a bunch of electricity, stuff's gonna
Yeah.
resonate.
It's like putting a magnet next to a computer
Yeah, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that
and
degaussing,
make some hiccups. Yeah.
and that's in your brain, and it's gonna be like, yeah, we. This is kind of like the signal for fire hose.
This isn't quite the fire hose signal, but it's close enough that I'm just gonna run it as the fire hose signal.
Because that's how the human brain does a lot of. This is close enough. We're gonna put it.
This is like a square. I'm just gonna put it in the square
Yeah, I'm
box.
just gonna put it. We're just doing it. There's too much actual information. We just gotta get the broad categories and just kind of go,
Yep.
here we go. Because you just can't have a unique
Just too
thing.
much.
Yeah, so we just gotta say, yeah, that's a man, that's a dog. It's clearly not Nod's dog. Goes woof.
I also did some reading of some creepy pastas.
Hell yeah.
It mostly started because I wanted to reread The Goat Man,
The
which
Goat
I think is
Man's.
still the best creepy
I
pasta.
think the Goat Man is my favorite. Yeah, that's the one where the guy's in like he goes out camping with his crew and they're just in like a kind of a ratty
Yeah.
old trailer and the Goat Man's outside.
Yeah, and it's because it works out because it's like they meet up with like his cousins to also. So it's like there's two groups of people. So there's like, plenty of like chances for, oh, there's just so many new people I can't keep track of them,
And
which allows.
it's that kind of scenario where it's that kind of camp slash family
Trailers.
reunion slash
Yeah.
like you have like 12 to they have 8 to 12 teens to like 8 to 15-year-olds in a group where stuff can just start happening and you're like, yeah, I'd believe
Yep.
it.
Yep. The Russian sleep experiment, I think, is really weak.
That's the one where like the guy doesn't go to sleep and gradually goes crazy, right?
Yeah, it's like a whole like sealed room of people that scientists have, like, and they're just pumping this gas to keep them awake,
Yeah,
and they all go mad, and then go super mad.
yeah, my favorite ones are the ones where it feels more like someone's recanting something and it's not like,
Hmm.
because to me those are the ones that feel quote unquote real, where
Hmm.
when you go too far it's like, no, that's clearly just like a monster or the devil.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's just the devil, my brain just shuts off and goes, yeah, that's not
It's
scary.
like, oh, who cares?
Who cares? I don't.
The devil's not scary.
The devil
He
is
has
not
rules.
scary. It's also
Listen,
like,
I just accept Jesus Christ, and the devil suddenly has no power.
exactly. Like the problem with the devil is that if you encounter the devil, then by proxy you've encountered like the Jesus part.
Yeah, that means, oh, God is real and everything. Cool.
Yeah, that's like a hard confirm. Like Pazuzu showing up, and you're like, oh, thank you. Which is
The
like,
problem is that if the devil shows up, you're like, oh, cool, that means God's real. And then the devil takes that away. It's like, yes, but you no longer believe in him through faith alone, so it's null and voided.
it doesn't matter.
Then you're
I
like,
get the
wait a second,
satisfaction.
you're the devil. You lie. I don't believe you, the devil.
Also, the whole point is my grand theory is like, why would the devil be focused on me?
Yeah, really.
Like, if all the people on this planet Like I'm gonna be here playing the Halo
You
Infinite.
picked me.
I'm playing the Halo Infinite beta, and the devil shows up. It's like, oh, you could have gone like anyone else.
You're like, I don't even have the highest multi-kill streak. Why'd you pick me?
This accomplishes nothing.
Oh wait, are you not Weed Sniper 420?
No,
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm Raylith like numbers after my name because the Xbox apparently didn't okay, so here's my so like the Halo came out on like they released the multiplayer part as like free to play. So you can just download and play the new Halo like multiplayer. Yep. And it's pretty good. It's Halo, which is for better or worse. It's just Halo.
Yeah.
And I played a bit of it. It plays great. Plays like Halo. Plays fine on my computer, which is pleasant because I didn't have to buy an Xbox. It's just I downloaded it from Steam. But like the problem is you got to connect with like your Xbox Microsoft account, and because my former Xbox account was
tied to a cable company email that's
that never existed. Which means I can't have the name Raylith because it's technically taken. So when I made it, I made it. They just put like numbers after it, and it so I'm like Raylith 4307 or something. Like, and I tried to change it, but it wouldn't let me. But then I resigned because what could be more Xbox than having a name with just numbers after it?
Yeah, really?
Like, I'm Goku 887.
There's 886 other Gokus out there? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I kept putting in numbers till I get it. So I just accepted it. I'm like, okay, that's the Xbox name. It's me with numbers.
Yeah.
At some point, I want to change the branding from Raylith to probably Horfo. At some point. And basically that was from the discovery. One, it's the discovery of the other Raylith. There is another one a long time ago
who does Pokemon.
No.
Right? And
no, he does Halo. And I feel like by playing Halo Infinite, I am now like encroaching on his like he's in it like clear like a Spanish speaking country from like I feel South America. Like not Mexico, but like somewhere like in like Chile or somewhere. And it's like, and that person is like made their YouTube channel of Halo, and if I start playing Halo Infinite, that's like infringing on their rights, and I don't want to do that.
Start playing League of Legends.
Yeah, he needs to start playing Magic the Gathering. Coming for me. But it's one of the things where like apparently I have discovered, it was like a couple years ago, a year ago, but it's just that the name Raylith is like a Peruvian girl's name that I did not know. It's because it's not like my brain. I'm like, nah, it's like a fantasy sounding name, and it's one of those equivalent where like if I was some like in like a foreign language and I wanted to make my like cool like fantasy sounding name and I ended up as like Rebecca. And I'm like, yeah, you know. I speak German, or not even German, I speak like Taiwanese. It's cool, it's Rebecca.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, that's just a girl's name.
That's just a girl name.
So I'm like, oh. So at some point I will, that's like one of my ongoing goals is I gotta rebrand.
Oh no, you should rebrand to Meta.
Yeah, I should. Oh yeah. And then I can have like the Raylith sub brand, where I'm trying to like do my tax evasions. So like I can say like, nah, Meta is the company that owns the VR stuff. So You need to investigate them for tax fraud and break them up. And I, Mark Zuckerberg, will just sadly go with the Facebook branch of the company, and I'll run that one.
Yeah.
But my dog, Bark Zuckerberg, he runs the Meta. Which is just the old joke from The Simpsons where the
Canary Burns.
Canary Montgomery Burns
Yeah.
runs the company. Oh,
Foolproof.
foolproof. What do you think about like Dragon Ball Death by Daylight?
I didn't even watch the trailer for it. Like, I saw screenshots of it, and it looks better than the new Dragon Ball movie that's coming out.
Oh, definitely.
I didn't watch anything about it.
It looks kind of janky, and it looks like it basically looks like it controls like Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Like the game itself looks janky and is probably not good, and I will not play it. But I think it's a cool idea. Like that's my opinion on it. For like that's a unique Dragon Ball game of you're trying to run away from Cell as he's eating people and evolving.
Yeah, I think like give it 3 or 4 years, and it'll probably just be Jump Force by Daylight.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. There's some cool stuff you could do there. Like having to run away from like a bleach monster. Or being like one of the Narutos who are running away from like the Nine-Tailed Fox at the beginning. There's some stuff there. Just be a person that lives in Chainsaw Man world.
Yeah.
That's just your horror experience. Oh man, see that's oh god. It should have just been Yami Shibai the game.
It's unwatchable if you're not the killer.
Well, that's the point, is that it's not like it's so asymmetric that even the game type per round is just random. And how to get out is like completely random. And the killer's like motivations, powers, and goals are random. It's just like, can you do it? Maybe. In this round, the old man says go to the left. Is that correct? I don't know. Don't look at the tormentor. Don't look at it. Did we talk? Did we talk about that one where it was like the family who on like the anniversary of the mom's death would always go to like the ancestral home, and her ghost would like walk in and they'd eat dinner with her?
Oh.
But
no, I don't think we have.
Okay, so there's what. Okay, so that's my favorite of the new ones, where it's like a woman married into a like a family, and they go, we kind of have this tradition we do every year, and they go to the mom's house, and all like the extended family's there, and they're all having a night, and they go, okay, now this is gonna be a little weird, but it's okay. Like it's gonna be a little scary, but our mom, she comes in and we eat dinner with her every year at the same time. And they sit down, and it kind of goes night, and you see like the door opening up, and the family's like, oh hey mom, and the girl's like freaking out, right? And she's like, oh hey mom, what's coming in? And then the girl goes, that's not your mom. And then the family goes, oh no. Because they couldn't see what the ghost actually looked like. They just saw like the door open and like kind of sounds and like a sitting there. But the woman could see, and she's like, that ain't your mom. And I was like, oh, that's
good. Did you ever watch Ninja Collection?
I did not watch Ninja Collection.
So it's by the same studio as Crunchyroll. Or it's on Crunchyroll. It's from the same studio as Yami Shibai, and it's like the exact same thing, 4 or 5 minute episodes.
I think I watched like the first episode of it.
I like it. I watched like the first 3. I like that they don't show the ninjas solve the problem. It's just, it gets to what would normally be the death point in a Yamishibai, and like whenever the protagonist blacks out. They like wake up to having been saved, and the person who's clearly the ninja is just like, "Hey, are you okay? What just happened? You like blacked out or something?"
Blacked out. I wonder what's up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, Mishibai a good show.
The League of Legends cartoon's still good. I think Act 2, I will call it, or episodes 4, 5, 6, is a bit weaker than 1, 2, 3. But it's less of the quality is weaker and more of like the bar just got established. Where like in 1, 2, 3, I was expecting trash like the Dota cartoon and instead got a real cartoon. And it just kind of continued with like the same quality. And I'm like, okay. Like it's still good. Still like an 8 out of 10 show. A little bit like I think its big weakness is there's a little bit of a little like episode 1-esque like council drama, which I think is always a mistake. Of like, we need to get votes on the council. And I'm like, I just feel like that's a mistake in your to have that unless you're doing like an actual political thriller. Like,
but Kevin, it worked so well in the prequel trilogies.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's such a mistake because of the prequel trilogy. Like, and you're like, it's fine if that's going on either in the background or they mention it, but like, I don't want to see council meeting. Even though I understand an animation that can save you some time, where you just have your people kind of sitting there
and talking
for a bit. But I want to see the good cop bad cop drama in the slums, where like the punch girl is going into the brothel to hit up information and the proper cop girl can't handle it.
Yeah.
Which was good.
I just literally know nothing about League of Legends.
Well, I mean, this show's a good place to start if you ever wanted, because it doesn't it assumes you don't know anything. It's just like Magic Town. Rich Magic Town, poor Magic Town. That's all you gotta know.
All right.
And then everything. And sometimes there's like little Yordle elf people. They exist. Don't worry about it.
What's a Yordle?
It's kind of like a gnome. They're kind of immortal. So in the lore, they're just like immortal kind of fairy people. They're small, made of magic. They do stuff.
Yes, sir.
But one of the cool things about it, minor, not even spoiler, it's just kind of like you get to see the problems of where like the Fey folk Yordle, because they're effectively immortal, they're like things of how being careful with your technology and stuff causes problems where humans have a definite life cycle. Where like one of the big issues is like the head of the science department guys just going like, wow, your innovations are pretty good, and after about 10 to 20 years after you work out all the kinks, we'll just release it. And that's not that big a deal, because to him, he's like lived for over 300 years, so like 20 years is nothing. But to a human, it's like 20 years is like half my life. Like it's significant. I'm not going to spend 20 years trying to make sure everything works in like the punch gauntlet. I just want to put it out now. Maybe like if you had said 2 months, I could have been like, okay, but not 10 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Played Teamfight Tactics. League of Legends they're just like releasing like a bunch of games are just stealth releasing. They're just being like, it's out. Like here's the League of Legends role-playing game. It's out. It's like the Battle Chasers Night War, which I played. It was pretty good. At some point, I'll play the League of Legends version with like the Ruined King, who's just a ghost man who wants his zombie wife back. And then the pirate queen's like, fuck you, and then sails to his island to kill him.
Have you played any auto chess since you switched to
Nope.
League of Legend auto chess?
Nope.
Is it more stable yet?
I don't know. I just played the League version because it was stable. Like that's how it's kind of like what happened with League eventually, where the Dota mod was on Warcraft 3 and kind of janky. So then League came out and was more stable. So people just played League. And even when like you want to go back to Dota 2, it's like, nah, I've played League too long. And it's just there's some weirdness. It's also like, I mean, I haven't played auto chess, so I don't know how like the tuning goes. But Riot, to their credit, has actually been balancing, and they tune and balance team fight tactics fairly regularly. I think they have like a 2-week balance patch where they adjust things. Where like,
yeah,
and it keeps it more fresh. Where it's like, I don't know, this week assassins aren't doing good, so we're buffing them, and the tanks are doing a little bit too good, so we're nerfing them. That'll make the meta a little bit different, so it's just not always the same. I appreciate that. On that kind of game where you're not releasing cards every so often, just to keep things interesting. Did you see the Bobby Kotick Blizzard Activision news where now he's been accused of sexual assault to no one's surprise?
No, I have not.
So yeah, the head of Activision Blizzard, the CEO Bobby Kotick, who, as you remember, was in Jeffrey Epstein's book as patron of his island, got shown he was also one of like the sexual harasser people at Activision Blizzard. And the latest news that I saw was a while back. There was a letter from one of the people. It was the former like Trump lady that worked there, where she said like, I never experienced like harassment or anything there. Do you remember that story going around?
Yes.
Turns out that letter was not written by her, but instead was written by Bobby Kotick and sent from her email. So if you didn't think that story could get worse, he basically said, I am a woman and Blizzard is great. And then he was like, he wiped his hands. It's like, problem solved. I did.
There we go.
I did it. Look, a woman said it's fine. What's the problem? Come on, guys. I don't get it. But yeah. Which is made World of Warcraft have even more problems. Apparently Call of Duty's also like gone down. Which feels like it kind of feels like that's why Halo just said fuck it. Halo's Infinite, free to play. You don't like that Call of Duty? Come back with old Master Chief. Spartan 117 will do you right. I read those Halo books. I read at least 3. I think 2. 2 or 3. I know I read the Reach one. Then I read one of the others. And I can't remember anymore.
Yeah. I've never touched any of the Halo stuff.
You're probably better for it. Well, Halo 2 is pretty good. Halo 2 is pretty good. That was a summer. Like my definitive
a summer of Halo 2.
Oh, it was like Half-Life 2, Halo 2, and Katamari Damacy. I remember because I bought Katamari and Half-Life 2, and I'm like, both of these games are equally good. They're very different games, but they are equally good. I mean, like, I think I like We Love Katamari a bit more than Katamari.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just think it's longer and has a little bit more stuff to it. But the first Katamari is still good. One of the best soundtracks in all of video games.
Yeah, it's really good.
Apparently G4 came back, but I don't know. I don't have it nor
When did that
watched it.
happen?
Oh, like it was like yesterday. Like G4 is back. I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's back. I do know that Abby Russell is one of the people working at G4, so take that as you will.
Okay.
But like,
Um.
hi Nolan,
uh,
pop it in at the end. I guess. I'm just talking to Philip Dead Air, so just if you need to say something, just say it.
Finally. Okay. Sorry, I was fixing my headset.
That's all right.
Okay. G4 is apparently back.
Yeah, G4 is back.
Oh yeah, I saw some reviews from them because I was curious and I was like, wow, this kind of sucks.
Games 4.
G4 is finally back.
Yeah, it's finally back. Oh man, it kind of
here.
sucks. See, that's the G4 experience.
The only thing I liked on G4 was I can kind of say X-Play, but even then, that was when it was G4. It was when X-Play just started getting merged with like Attack of the Show
I liked
and Ninja Warrior.
So I actually liked G4 because it served what I now have better, but it was just the thing I had on while I on my tiny TV while I was playing like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And
Oh, how did we not talk about that?
oh shit, we gotta talk about the cursed.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about the We still have time. The
I have a
cursed.
couple videos.
Yo, that Grand Theft Auto port is they I don't know what they did to it.
I don't either. I don't know how they've done some of the things they did.
So like, I
Jiggling the car while you drive just makes it grow.
Yeah, it just makes it grow. Like that. There are bugs and crap in that game where I do not like. It's, and I think to me the biggest thing they've done that's the mistake is that Rockstar delisted the original games. So, like, you can't buy regular Grand Theft Autos on the computer or Xbox anymore. No, you can only buy the new one. Because even if the new one's a disaster, but you just say, oh, here's PC San Andreas, then people are going to be like, well, this new version is shit. But at least you just buy the old one. But now you can't even do that. I think, so one of the rumors, and I may be proven wrong, is that to quote unquote HDify it, what they did is they applied like a filter to every model in the game that rounds it out. Oh yeah, that. So like, and by applying that filter, because there's like a 3D modeling thing where you can like kind of auto smooth things out and it adds more polygons to it.
Yeah.
And what that would do is double like the polygons on every single model in the game because you're smoothing it out. And people think that may be the reason of why it's chugging on like...
Yeah.
Because like every NPC, like, because I saw like a mesh of it and it's like, imagine if everything had the amount of polygons that's in 2B's butt, but it's like a Grand Theft Auto crowd because you just hit like smooth twice. Yeah, and that rain was terrible.
That face on the wall.
Oh yeah, the face on the wall. Oh god. Yeah, like it's just like it feels, and apparently like part of me doesn't even blame the developers for that thing, because you know, like it's coming out that they're like
No, that's like producers rushing it out.
yeah, like and those people were like a mobile game port division, and they basically said, "Here, do this," and they probably were given like 8 months to do it, and like not enough.
Yeah.
Like it's this is like this is probably one of those stories where the people at the studio are impressed it even came out, but everyone else is like, this is an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah. The people at the studio were given the same budget as making a mobile port.
Yeah, they said, here you go. But yeah, it is a shame because I really like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That may be my favorite Grand Theft Auto.
I really enjoyed Vice City.
Vice City, I think
that was probably mine.
I think it's like Vice City tonally is the best Grand Theft Auto. Like in terms of tone and what it sets out to do, I would say I liked how big San Andreas was at the time. Like that game felt massive.
So what I forgot, Vice City is the only Grand Theft Auto I played. I never played the story mode or anything. It was just driving around and like goofing off.
I always played the story mode. I finished
driving across the city and hitting load times. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
until like a speed run gamer, like I can't remember, like, oh yeah, driving across this bridge, and oh yeah, load time, and oh no, I didn't actually want to cross this bridge. I guess I'm gonna drive back through the load time. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Kids these days, they don't know what video games were like.
No. You know what they know?
Was that
Naruto's in Fortnite?
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about the Naruto. We talked about also Dragon Ball Z Death by Daylight. What do you think about that, Nolan?
Yeah, okay. So I've hated most Dragon Ball Z games that come out over like the last 20 years.
That's fair.
Because they've been nothing but 2D fighters.
Or 3D arena fighters.
Yeah, 3D arena fighters. So I'm like, oh wow, there's a hunting Cell Saga.
Dead by Daylight.
Citrum. Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, which is cool.
It looks cool. I like that he has to hunt you down, and by eating you, he gets stronger, which means it's easier for him to pick you up, guys off.
You have all the characters in there running away.
Oh my god! Like hiding in like little buildings, and then some characters can transform.
Yeah, like the Puar oolongs that turn into like a chair or something. It's cool.
There's gonna be that point where it just Cell's like looking around a room, and you see a chair like slowly sliding out.
Yeah.
And he keeps looking back, and it's just stopped. Oh.
So yeah,
some real Scooby-Doo noise.
Oh yeah.
I retweeted it, but they better put that farmer as one of the characters.
No, it's DLC.
The farmer is the DLC. The harbinger of back in the day when Goku's on Namek and he's about to fight the Ginyu Force, and then the next episode's that farmer, and you're just like, son of a bitch.
No, it's gonna be the farmer, a couple other nobody characters, and then it's gonna be the new monster creature, which will be Majin Buu hunting people down.
We talked about like King Piccolo and Uzuru Goku also showing up.
Oh, that'd be great.
Or like Namek era, like Frieza. I mean, the Vegeta and Nampa. Like there's all kinds. We also want we did also want like on Namek where you're having to hide the Dragon Balls from Frieza.
That'd be actually good.
So there's things this game could do, and I think it's cool, but I don't want to play it.
I at least want to play it once to see how it feels.
it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to watch the actual like someone play this and see if it looks good, and not just like the concept is good but it's jank and kind of bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. Did you try out any of the Halo, Nolan? Free Halo?
No, nah, I haven't touched that.
I did. It's Halo. But that actually is pretty good. Like if you compare it to like Battlefield's apparently not great, Call of Duty's not great, Fortnite's Fortnite, Valorant is Counter-Strike. Okay. So like Halo, if you want that kind of console controller first person shooter, that's basically best you got.
Listen, I'm just surprised they made a game off that guy from like the Doritos and Mountain Dew bottles.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
It's product placement. It's the new new Cool Spot. Or Chex Quest. Or Avoid the Noise.
It is the new Chex Quest.
Yeah. It's Dorito. It's the lore behind the Doritos. That's
why does that guy need so many Doritos?
Because that's
it's what powers his suit.
Yeah.
That and Mountain Dew, you got to crush them up and mix them together, and it creates a sustainable energy source when it starts flowing.
Yeah, that's how humanity escaped to the stars after harnessing the power of the dew.
The dew. See, we're not supposed to be drinking it. It's a power
yeah.
source.
It's technically spaceship fuel, but we're just drinking it. That would explain the acidic taste and energy it gives, because it's like, no, you're not supposed to be drinking that. What? No, it's good. Some guy puts like Mountain Dew in his car and it just drives forever. It's like, oh, never considered you could just drive the Dew.
It's Diesel 2.0.
Yeah.
I can't wait to roll some Dew.
Yeah. But Halo's pretty good.
Okay.
It's Halo. I liked it.
Like, yeah, I've heard like people saying, "Oh yeah, it's fun, it's fun." Like, okay, cool.
I'm probably not going to play it for very long, but I appreciate it being able to download and play a bit of Halo, and in the future, if there's nothing going on, the ability to just go, yeah, I'll play some Halo. Like that's very powerful.
Yeah, they gave it away for free, right?
Yeah. Like
that's cool.
The multiplayer, it's all there. You could do it. They have like their battle pass, so if you want to unlock special armors for your Halo, you can do that and pay money for it. But like back in Xbox, that you never did that really. You're just a Master Chief shooting other Master Chiefs. It's fine. You have enough color palettes where you can like the primary colors are there. So I'm like, okay, I can make my red Master Chief and just kind of do my business.
Single-handedly holding up the Red versus Blue franchise.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I actually forgot that was a thing. I stopped watching.
I think they're still doing it.
I stopped watching that way. I don't even think I watched like season 2 of Red versus Blue.
I watched, so they have like, I think the first 5 seasons on Netflix, where you just like click season 1 and it's like an hour-long video.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I haven't seen this in a while. Let me see it. I'm like, yeah, it's Red versus Blue.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, there's no like nuance to it. There's no like, whoa, this cinematic piece of machinima is the next level. No.
But it's impressive they made a show inside of the Halo.
Oh,
like
yes,
they didn't have any fancy tools or anything like that. All they had was screen capturing.
And a glitch where if you aimed down, the head kind of went up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you could kind of nod, and it made like they were talking.
Yeah.
Like big impressives.
Red versus Blue, I think, is one of those shows where I'm not going to go back to it because I don't want to like.
Oh, I'm gonna leave
it in my memory.
Yeah, I'll leave it in my memory. Like Tomorrow's Nobodies, I'm not gonna rewatch Tomorrow's Nobodies. It gets to live in my brain as good.
Yeah.
It just no. I'm not like a lot of the some flashcard like Homestar you can go back to, and it holds up.
Yep.
But just some things get to live in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They get to live there. What if that was your auditory hallucination? Like you went to the sound deprivation room, and it's just like the episode 3 of Tomorrow's Nobody starts playing, and you're like your eyeball and brain. You're like, well,
Uh-oh.
is this the? It's like, what did you see in the afterlife chamber? And you're like, Tomorrow's Nobody's episode. See, this isn't gonna make sense to Nolan, which that's why I went here.
No, it's fine.
But like, I just think that's really funny. The idea of that's the afterlife. Newgrounds flashcard 2.
I know, but if you die, you go to the bad area.
Oh, you mean all of Newgrounds? But you go to Ganguro Girl. Is that the good or the bad ending?
I'd count that as bad ending.
But what if you're like 13 years old?
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Heaven and hell are the same place. It just depends on your perspective.
Yeah. I think the new updated is it's not my dad's theory that heaven and hell is church. It's that heaven and hell are both Ganguro Girl.
Which one is Shadman in? Is he in heaven or hell?
Oh, he's in
hell.
He's in
He's
double
in
That
hell.
one's not even.
But it's weird
That's
because
real hell.
because he's like, I think the shocking thing about the Shad Man is that of all the things for him to get arrested of, like doing heroin and attacking people with a knife was not the one I was expecting.
That wasn't on my bingo.
No, I thought it was gonna be the underage pornography.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was going to be the CP.
Yeah, like I was like, no, that's the betting man's bet. And if you see someone go in there and they put all their money on heroin knife attack, then you're gonna be
No
like,
way.
No, you are a time traveler. All in heroin knife attack. Yeah, don't do that.
The betting person's like, well, that's a long shot.
It's a long
We'll
shot.
see.
I'm gonna take it. Man, I just don't want to. I don't want to be arrested on heroin knife attack. I think that's a bad way to go. You're in a bad spot.
That's fucking weird as shit.
Welcome to our cursed timeline.
I think that's a good thing that Shadman got arrested.
Oh no, it's good.
Regardless of why, I think it's still good.
It's like how they got Al Capone on like tax evasion.
Yeah.
Like they got him.
I don't care how. They got him.
At least they
Ladies and
got him.
gentlemen, we got him.
It's not what I thought, but the end result is the same.
Still a net positive for us.
The best image I saw was like they just posted the one of Winslow, but he's wearing like a prison uniform, and it just says when they tell you who your cellmate is, it shows him walking out.
Well, no, I saw something that was like, man, EDP, Chris Chan, and Shadman are all going to be in the same jail together.
Oh man, that'd be great.
That would be fantastic.
Oh, that's your new reality show. That's dark. I don't know. Okay, so this is I don't like true crime because I feel
I don't either.
it feels dirty to me, especially like because it's like fantasy murder and fantasy mysteries I'm cool with, and I love fantasy murder mysteries. Big fan.
Wait, let me add one addendum. To that statement.
Okay.
I don't like true crime, but it's too easy to get sucked into it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. One of my favorite books is the account of the Charles Manson trial because it's fascinating. But it's still as the hypocrite.
What book is that, Kevin?
It's Helter Skelter. It's written by the prosecutor of the Charles Manson trial. and all the weird stuff that went on with the Charles Manson trial. It is like a real book I can recommend, and not one of the Halo books. If you want to know, like, Kevin recommends actual book, and not Warhammer or Halo. It's really good.
You know, tune into the Horfo Book Club.
Yeah, Horfo Book Club.
Yeah. If you want some really good fake murder, I've watched the first 2 episodes of the new season of Dexter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys know anything about that.
I just know that Dexter, he has a laboratory.
Yes.
It is a serial killer who kills the other serial killers and figures out how they do it.
Yeah.
He saves the day through murder.
What a hero.
No, that's
No, but he's not the hero. You don't understand. He's good, but he's not good. But
He's
yeah,
the hero
I
we need,
understand
the
that.
one we deserve.
Neither.
No, I just
He
like it.
goes on his own beat. Sorry, they're like, the long thing is like, well, he's such a good guy, but he's so evil. It's like, yeah, I know. He's a serial killer, murderer, a serial killer. You don't have to keep saying it's so nuanced. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not a new
But
concept.
he's a serial killer who eats other cereals.
Kills them, but he's a bad guy, and he's like fighting his obsession. Like, yeah, I get it. That makes sense. I understand.
No, I just kind of want him like jerking
Dexter
off
isn't too
because he loves
nuanced.
it.
Yeah, I like have
No, I just
some other
loves
weird
it.
thing.
And you gotta have.
That's one of those things where, like Cats in the 90s, I don't think it's especially good or impressive, but it's doing a fine job. And for people who have no experience with the medium, it's groundbreaking.
Yes.
It's cool.
Not like Cats from the 2000s.
It's also, it would have been groundbreaking if they kept the buttholes in.
Yeah, keep the.
God, can you
buttholes.
imagine? Can you
Next
imagine?
Keep them in there. That's what. It's a
That
key
would've
feature. It's a key feature of Cats. If you own a cat, you know.
See, then it makes the train one have depth of like, why is he covering his butthole? Does this cat know shame?
Yeah, does he? Yeah.
He had eaten of the fruit of.
Yeah, he's ascended. Isn't he the one that like spins up into air, so he literally ascends?
Yeah, he gets magically kidnapped.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, he does, but it was not apparent at first. He just like started flying and then was raptured. And it's like, oh shit, what happened? Skimble Shakes, come back!
Didn't care. They just left. Didn't check on him. They just left. Like, well, I guess we'll deal with that later.
Yep.
Does the Hunter x Hunter music start playing as he ascends?
Oh,
Do, 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 as he looks at his own hand. I fucking love that. Anyway, my recordings are like messing up, so we gotta bye-bye.
All right,
All right,
we'll hop in at the end.
Bye.
Bye.